I was thinking the same thing. The green looks really nice.
I just need to have that on the background listen when I'm on the podcast.
Yeah.
Stop talking over my card, fuckers.
Fuck you.
STS Guys Podcast is the best you ever seen. Go and listen weekly pop culture podcasts, they are so clean. Talking about movies, TV shows, collectibles, I mean Jeremy, Larry, Nathan Scott are the best hosts you ever seen. Batman, Spider-Man, Ninja Turtles, very cool. Just lay down, open a beer, that's the big rule. Relax every week with us, we doing it right. Interesting subjects, we don't bother you at all. Come with us, we're gonna be so cool. Okay, STS Guys Podcast #1. That's not a fool, okay, I promise you're gonna have fun. Take your gun, nerds in the beach, I swear that's a big run.
All right, real quick before I do the episode number, that sounds amazing on my home stereo.
I could just sit here and listen to that on repeat.
Yeah. I'm almost kind of sad, Nate, that you told us that you listened to it and that you've actually kept up with the show since you've been gone, because I really wanted to see what your reaction to it was.
Of course, I got to keep up, man. I can't just not listen to the episodes.
Well, I really was hoping that to see what your reaction would have been to the song the first time you heard it, because we were giggling like school children.
Yeah, when I first played it, it was pretty amazing. It's one of those like enlightening moments, like, oh my god, I've found something that's incredible.
We have an intro song now. Yeah,
that's pretty great.
Jeremy was saying, I remember we had a conversation like a couple months ago, like maybe we needed to do a theme song anyhow, right? Because we had to sit down or shut up, like.
That's for 2 years.
Since episode 1. So
and now we have one that specifically is made solely for us, and it's good.
It's good, and it's not too long for an intro either. That's a good intro song because it's like a good way to kind of just get started, get settled. The show's coming,
Has nothing. It doesn't feel like thematically with what we're going to be talking about, but it's still great.
And on
doesn't
that
really
note,
go with the theme, but.
Welcome to this week's episode 155 of the STS Guys. I am Jeremy.
Hey, it's Larry.
Hey guys, I'm Nate.
And I'm Scat.
And we are the STS Guys, a weekly podcast where we sit around, shoot the shit, and talk about anything geeky, nerdy, and cool. What is going on this week, guys?
I'm just glad to be back, man. It's been a couple of weeks for me.
Back.
We're glad you're back.
And you guys held it down, though, for me.
Because you know why? It's been a week.
It's been a few weeks.
It's been a week.
Like Ed said, I feel like I just want to raise the roof right now.
Yeah, it does. It gets you going. That song gets you going for what we're going to be talking about, which is not a lot. So,
all right,
let's go through
a week story. Nate, I think you have a few things.
Yeah, so let's hear about Nate.
Yeah, I have a pretty amazing It's Been a Week story. So I got married while I was gone over the last 2 weeks.
Sorry, lady. That guy's taken.
Off the market.
That's awesome.
Congrats, bro.
Thank you. It's been a long time coming. We've been engaged for a while. We were just talking about this before the show started. But we finally went up to Pine Top, had a really small wedding with the friends. It was like a big party, man. It was a great time. But yeah, happily married now, so that's pretty sweet.
Very cool. You know what else is pretty sweet? A Geek Together raid.
Yay!
Geek Together raid.
That fits with Nate getting married. Geek Together.
Yeah, that's a good segue.
We would have buried the raid. So shout out to Geek Together. Thank you. If you didn't know, Geek Together records their podcast live on Twitch every Saturday night, the hour right before us. So check them out. So shout out to the chat. Right, we've got Ed's in the chat. Clint was there. Manny, what's up, Manny? Gary, Mountain Meg, more Gary, more Mountain Meg. John Newland from the Toy Rewind podcast. What's up, everybody?
Hey.
Hello.
So Nate. So Nate. So you got married, and then you had the was it the Halloween? Did you do anything for Halloween? Like, did you guys? Did you go anywhere? Because our Halloween episode was last week with a very rousing game created by Jeremy, which we need to do those more often.
I know that looked like a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah. So, but did you do anything for Halloween? Because I'm very curious as to what COVID Halloween was like for everybody.
I stayed pretty much inside, but it was at a friend's house. We had like a small little party for Halloween. Did some pumpkin carving, the classic stuff. Watched some scary movies, played some games. It was a good time.
Are you fucking 12?
Hey, that's the COVID way for Halloween now. You don't go have like a huge party.
Party.
Yeah, we painted nails. We talked about which boys we liked.
It was classic Halloween, man. You got to do that every once in a while.
We played.
Great.
We did the
There's
Bloody
drinking
Mary.
involved, Yeah, spin me around 3 times, Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Ghost came. It was great.
Whoop, whoop.
was fun.
That works out. So
There was some Mezco-ness going on this week.
What?
did you buy a Batman? It's been 2 weeks. I feel like that's the appropriate amount of time for you to have bought a Batman.
It was not a Batman.
Oh,
No Batman. It was a Gomez, though.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So it was like a surprise drop, too. They did it like once before. So they have this thing. I don't know if you guys are familiar. Mezco Toys has this thing called Slugfest's Emporium of Badassery. And
That is a mouthful.
yeah, it's like a hidden part of their website. You actually can't see it from the homepage. You have to like find it from another page. Hold on a second. Where is?
Yeah,
Can I share my
remember
screen?
about that.
That's where they had the bag of skulls and like all the little like doodads and trinkets you could buy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you guys see this now?
Yes.
There you go.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so if you go to like Mezco Toys and then you do the /Slugfest, you should be able to find it that way. But you can't really find it from their homepage. But they dropped like a bunch of new stuff on there, and one of them is a new.
Is that like a Kill Bill Gomez? With
Yeah,
like the
so it was
tracksuit?
Bruce Lee's birthday
yeah.
last week.
I was thinking.
Yeah,
Kill
so
Bill
it's like
too.
but it is definitely Kill Bill style. It's got that yellow
Oh,
tracksuit,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so it's
yellow
pretty cool.
lens
It's got the flame fist, which is pretty sweet.
Hey, it's Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
A better Iron
It's funny
Fist than
because-
Iron Fist.
I'm pretty sure the new Iron Fist is coming out pretty soon, so that's funny that they released this one before that.
No,
But,
they probably were like,
oops.
let's test out and see how those fist flame effects work. Is that a heart?
Pretty straight. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like grabbing his chest. Oh, he took my heart. Pretty cool.
Kalima.
Hum num shabai.
This one
Hum
was
num
like-
shabai. Hum num shabai.
Yeah,
Oh, it's even
classic
got,
indie too.
Yeah.
It's even got a what is Visit?
Gosh darn it!
Yellow
Just
Visit?
did that again.
Some Wolverine claws.
Yeah, so you got the little grub. It's like a bigger Mezit grub guy. It's a grub micro, is what they call him. But it comes with a bunch of crap.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this was like a surprise release too. They didn't give any kind of notice. All of a sudden, it just popped up on that Slugfest Emporium of Badassery, and then all this stuff. So like a weapons pack. It's called the Baker's Dozen.
Nice.
So you get a bunch of different weapons. This is weapons that have come with other figures. So this is still available. But then they have this other thing, which
Hold
was
on.
really cool. Go ahead.
It's 12. Is it? It's called Baker's Dozen. So I'm guessing it's 13 weapons for $30.
It's not
Yeah,
bad.
it's really great deal for what you're getting. I mean, they're not like super detailed. You can tell there's not a ton of.
But if you
But,
just
I mean-
wanted, like, if you were just starting out collecting Mezco figures or 112
if you-
stuff, it's a
If
good
you
way.
wanted a few extra things, like some of these come with some mags and stuff.
Well, that and the fact that, like I said, that they're doing this one, that means, like I said, that they're open to the idea of doing
Yeah.
other accessory packs.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. Seeing this makes me really excited because now you're going to see other accessory packs. Maybe they'll do like a clothing pack where you get like jackets and other stuff, or then you do like accessories. So you get like Molotov cocktails. I mean, there's limitless possibilities. Yeah. And then, exactly. This
No,
one's
it
pretty
is,
cool.
right?
This is like an expansion pack for Doc Nocturnal. So they have Doc Nocturnal that came out recently, and this is called like a Phantom Knights official membership kit. So you get some random stuff in here, like a certificate of authenticity and membership card, but then you get some extra accessories for your Doc Nocturnal
So the
to make
crosses,
him kind of like a Van Helsing sort of character.
yeah, the crosses are pretty cool. The kukri knives, that's
So
pretty
this
cool.
is basically like an expansion on an old figure, which is another new idea. Like they've never done that before.
That
It's
new head
basically-
is dope
That's
with
awesome.
the cross.
yeah, it looks really awesome.
Nice.
So this is
It
That
goes
was
cool.
like,
Shout
like a
out to
medieval
the amazing.
version. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is like
That
an
was-
expansion for your figure, which is pretty cool.
I think I saw. Didn't Hockey get that one?
Yeah, Hockey just got Doc Nocturnal because he's starting to
Yeah.
come out now.
Yeah, so that's cool.
Yeah, then you get this glow-in-the-dark bag of the skulls, $25 for 12 skulls. That's a pretty good deal.
Wow, that's a really good deal too.
Yeah, because like if you bought this stuff from a customizer, you would be spending a lot more money.
Yeah.
You know, to the baker's dozen thing, that would probably be
Smart.
like 60, 70 bucks.
Yeah, it's smart that they realize that there's this like black market going on, and like we could get in on that and do it for way cheaper. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
It's pretty cool,
That's
man.
cool.
They've got they're definitely getting that formula down for Mezco. Like they've got their own line of figures now. Now they're giving expansion packs for these figures, and they have all their weapons, which everybody knows the accessories for Mezcos are just amazing. So it's a smart business model. It's pretty cool to see them growing the company and growing what they're offering. So that's my Mezco news. I mean, you guys didn't have that for a couple weeks, so there it is.
Yeah. But that's cool. I like the super secret web page thing too. I mean,
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Like if you like Mezco, you could find it. But me or Jeremy probably wouldn't be able to go find it.
Yeah, and I think some people got kind of pissed because they didn't know that Gomez went up, and it did sell out fairly quickly, but it was limited to one per person pretty strictly. Like if you tried to go back in and buy another one, it would kick it out of your cart, so you couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool. It stayed up a little bit longer because of that, but it lets more people get the opportunity to get one. So
That's cool.
That's good.
yeah,
That's a bingo
That's
square.
right.
Somebody, Mezco said we've been missing our Mezco bingo squares for a little while.
That is true. We're missing all of our Nate Bingo scores.
Yeah.
So if you've
Yeah.
been playing bingo, I don't know where I'm going.
Podcast bingo.
If you want to play bingo along with us while you're listening to the podcast, go to podcastbingo.com/STS Guys, and you can get your own STS Guys bingo card made by our friend Andrew from the Toy Rewind podcast.
Bingo!
I like that.
There you go. Yeah.
I see what
And
you're
see what you did there, Nate. Throwing it in there. We haven't gotten a chance.
Free
So
square.
what? All right, because I know Jeremy and I have a story to tell, couple stories to tell. Larry, did you have anything going on this week though?
I bought some stuff. Remember like, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago, it was whenever Nate was here last, I think, right? So probably like 3 weeks ago, the Funko shop had that glow in the dark Homer Jack in the Box head thing that I said I was going to wait and get.
Yeah.
Well, I did wait 3 weeks to get it, and I got it for what I feel is a low price, $23 shipped.
Nice.
Ooh.
With 15, right,
Nice.
from Funko Shop, plus $6 for them to ship it. So that's 21. So I paid basically $2 more than this guy paid for it. So it showed up the other day. So I now have another Simpsons pup for my Simpsons collection. So
Getting close to complete.
yeah, I think I am. I need to double check, but I think I'm complete now still. So we'll see what happens. And then I went to Target the other day, and they had the new wave of Mattel Elite figures for WWE, and I got the retro Jake the Snake.
This snake.
This snake.
This snake right
This
here.
snake.
Snake.
Yeah, fan favorite of the STS guys since I met him at Tucson Comic Con like 2 years ago. So I had to pick up. I haven't bought any wrestling figures in a while, but I had to grab Jake the Snake.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I had to grab the figure, not his snake.
Yeah.
It didn't come with a snake.
So how many of those elites do you have now? Because I know you collect those kind of sparingly.
That's a good question, Nate. I'm not at the point where I've counted. I did pick up some really cool risers at the Container Store. They're like plastic risers, but like three levels. So I have them up on risers now. I've got 2 full, plus like some smaller figures in front. So I've probably got like at least 20. It's probably even a little more than that. I've got my share of leads. The first one I've bought in a while.
Nice.
Do I need to bring you back the Scotty Too Hottie, or do you have a Scotty Too
I
Hottie?
don't have Scotty Too Hottie. I would be happy to give Scotty Too Hottie home. That was actually the first Elite figure I bought, and I bought it for you.
And bought it, yeah.
It just somehow turned into like a little mini obsession.
Well, you've always been a big wrestling fan, and those are probably the best wrestling figures that you can get on the market right now.
They're pretty cool. They're like like once you have them in your hands, compared to the crap we had as kids, they're pretty cool. They're like the Marvel Legends. They're like the Star Wars Black Series figures. Once you like start buying them and have them, they're kind of cool, man. Speaking of Star Wars Black Series, Nate posted his first Star Wars picture on Instagram.
I was just going to say.
It was a Mando picture, right? But I'm assuming that was a Black Series figure?
It was the first Black Series like I've ever picked up. And happened to be the Mando. I thought that it just looks like such a cool figure because it's got the new Beskar armor from the season 2. You know, he wears it at end of season 1. But really cool figure. And I decided to do a shot with it. It was my first Star Wars shot that I've ever done. So I'm definitely going to be doing more. I actually took it out here with me and tried to do one today. Of him sort of out on the plains. It looks like he's in a wasteland. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
Really impressed with that figure.
I remember Star Wars Day. Like you're like, I don't have a Star Wars figure to post a picture.
Yeah.
I was very excited when I was scrolling through my Instagram and I saw figure fan _Nate and Mandalorian. I was like, I audibly said, Nate bought a Star Wars figure, and then I read the comments. They're like, I posted my first Star Wars picture. I'm like, it was amazing.
It was meant to be.
Yeah, I was excited.
This is the way.
Yeah.
That's right. It is the way. It's going to be
the way.
It's going to be hard not to want to expand it now with other Mandalorian because
cool,
they have the armor now. They've been expanding that whole line. They have the heavy. They have Cara Dune from the show.
Just like the Funko stuff, right? There's tons of Funko Pops for Mandalorian. If you go to Target, there's a whole Baby Yoda section. We've talked about it. There's so much Mandalorian stuff out there. Yeah, the Black Series. I mean, Hasbro did not skip on those.
Even Black Series has a little Baby Yoda, which I have not found. But
no, I saw that. He's really small and still like $10.
Yeah, he's very, very tiny.
Not so great, but it is out there.
Not worth it. Not worth it.
But that was a while ago.
But I mean, Nate, you do have to kind of find him though, because
I know it's kind of like
go with
Mando becomes Baby Yoda. So it's almost like, and now it's funny because after I got that, they announced I think that same day, they announced a 2-pack that comes with Baby Yoda and the new Beskar Mandalorian and the Baby Yoda pod with a little stand. So it's just like, oh really?
Come on.
Oh well.
I feel like that's how
the pod and the Baby Yoda.
Moves. They just keep.
I know. That's how the figure game is, man. You get one and then they make it again, but it's better the next time.
Yeah.
I got the Darth Vader, like the Empire Strikes Back Darth Vader, fairly recently. That's a really cool figure too. Right?
I was really impressed with the Black Series stuff.
Better figure stuff than like a Luke or Leia or something. The face sculpts aren't on point all the time.
Yeah, that's kind of the reason why I went with Mando, because he's not like a specific. He doesn't have that face like you said, and I don't have to like recreate an old movie scene. I can kind of just be a little bit more creative with Mandalorian.
Yeah, you kind of have a blank slate, which is nice.
Yeah.
Well, the face sculpts got a potato.
They are.
Yeah, sometimes they can be. I mean, they're getting a little bit better with the face printing. You see it sometimes on the Marvel Legends, especially the retro ones.
So here's the question on the Marvel Legends: can you take the helmet off?
No, you can't.
Can you swap heads?
You can swap heads, so you can take off.
I'm sure somebody's got to have be able to make. He's a fairly popular actor. Somebody's got to have a bust for him where you can put his head back on.
So that new one that I was talking about, they actually are including an unmasked head sculpt. But it looks really, it looks really funny. It doesn't look that great. Let me see if I can find a picture of it.
Is it him all beat up like he was when they finally took it off in the last episode? Like it's him just all jacked up.
Looks like you might have got stung by a bee. Maybe.
I wonder if we could find one of like those old school Game of Thrones figures from the Viper and just swap his head off.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like,
There you
there's
go.
got to be enough figures out there that may have a swappable head. He's been in enough stuff that like there's got to be at least another head sculpt of him out there somewhere.
It'd be odd if there wasn't. Come on, where is it? I gotta find it because you guys will get a good laugh out of this head sculpt. Well, that's the best picture I can find. Let's do this. Hold on, let me share my screen.
I'm waiting to put it on.
I know
here
it's
live.
not letting me. It's not letting me do it. Here we go. Okay.
What
Can you
is
see
that?
That's,
It's pretty bad. Here we go. Oops. But look at that. It looks like he is. That's not the Pedro Pascal actor. I mean, he looks skinnier than that.
Yeah, he's that head is massive.
It looks like
that
a
helmet. This head is the same size as the helmet.
Yeah, exactly. The head is not filling in that helmet at all. It's not happening.
Yoda's cool. The pod's cool, but the unmasked.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. You get the little Beskar pieces and the Baby Yoda and the pod. I mean, this is what it should have been the first time. But that unmasked head sculpt doesn't really entice me at all.
Yeah, no, that definitely looks like. You know what that kind of looks like is if it's the Mandalorian as played by Dolph Lundgren.
Oh wait, here we go.
Oh,
Derp.
Yeah, it feels
I
like
shoot the gun.
got weird face.
You just put the mask back on. Put the mask back on.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like if Sloth from the Goonies was
Was a superhero.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh.
Well, speaking of Mando, we got season 2
Well,
to talk about.
I'm gonna ruin that because Jeremy and I have a story to tell. So
Scott kills a segue podcast. Bingo.
Well, it's because you segued too early.
you segued
Yeah, I
too
know.
early, son.
Hey, I was almost trying to create a bingo square.
So Jeremy and I did a thing because we went out, had a few drinks the other night, and then the next day we took off work because we said, you know what, we're gonna go have a meal fit for a king, and we did.
Yeah, it's because it's been a week. Sorry, it was our birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Happy birthday.
Yes, it
Happy
was our birthday.
That's awesome.
Scott,
cool. You guys share a birthday.
Before there was an STS Guys podcast, I said me and Scott, like I said, the stars aligned and our birthdays align on the same day.
Yes, Jeremy and I share a birthday. If you guys can believe that.
It's pretty good. So last week you teased a special meal.
We did.
What did you guys get?
So we went out and had a couple of beers, and then the next day we're like, all right, let's do this thing. And we went out. So we went to this place. Apparently it's a chain. I had never heard of it before. I know I'm up on my what I'll call the booby restaurants, but I'd never heard of this one, which is called Bombshells.
I feel so proud that I introduced Scott to this place.
Oh yeah, no, it's
So what is
I don't expect any less, Jeremy.
yeah,
like a Hooters or a
kind of like it's like a Hooters, Tilted Kilt, Twin Peaks. You know, Los Ojos Locos, right? Like, I think I've really named all the booby restaurants now with Bombshells added in. You know, scantily clad women
in like skimpy military uniforms.
Yeah, the military themed version of it, right?
Oh,
But so here's the thing: is, and I'll tell the comment that we had, but Jeremy, tell them what we got because we went in there for one specific thing. We both got it.
Yes. So before I said Larry or Scott even moved to Texas, I had told them about this mythical burger. This burger, they said it's like the burger of the gods. So imagine, I said if you had like the world's best burger, but instead of actually a normal bun, you replace that with bacon grilled cheese sandwiches.
Yep. So just imagine, bacon grilled cheese sandwich, hamburger patty. For whatever reason, they thought grilled cheese sandwiches is enough. So another slice of cheese on top of said hamburger patty, and then another bacon grilled cheese sandwich for the top bun.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's one of those things, like I said, where you feel really guilty. I said after you ate it. I said
You feel like you've done something wrong. Like you got caught doing something wrong.
It's so good that it's like there's no way that can be true. Like I'm gonna get in trouble now.
Which it's also a weird mix too, just because I said it's one of those things where like me and Scott, I said we devour the full fucking thing. I said we eat the shit out of that. And I showed Larry the picture. I said I'm
gonna say here's the taboo because everyone say where are pictures, so you can kind of see I'm doing the taboo, but there's grilled cheese sandwich, hamburger, grilled cheese sandwich, and that is bacon in said grilled cheese sandwich.
As tall as the fry container next to it.
Yeah,
yeah.
Just look at the height there.
So I am not. Jeremy can contest this. I am not a burger cutter and halfer. I don't cut the burger in half to eat. I go straight into that son of a bitch. I had to cut this one in half just to be able to get like a starting point to be able to get at this damn thing.
You almost have to like dislodge your jaw. And
like a snake. And like go for it.
That's a good sign though.
But my favorite part of the whole experience was, so this is clearly, it's a booby restaurant, right? So like the waitress kept coming up and being like, "What can I get for you, babe?" And "Oh, are you doing okay, sweetie?" or whatever. And the whole time I'm just laughing the whole thing. I'm like, look at me and Jeremy. We're both fat guys. I care more about this fucking sandwich than I do. I'm going to forget what you look like the second I walk out this door, but I will remember this sandwich and talk about it for days to come. You don't need to do the shtick with the fat guy. Like, sorry. You don't have to.
I'm already here. Yeah, you've already sold me.
Yeah, like I'm here. I'm eating this fucking monster. Yeah. This is what I'm here for, not you. Sorry.
Well, like
you could literally be a robot and it would be the same. I would have the same reaction to you.
No, so the one thing I was asking Scott, right? It looks like I've been talking about this stupid burger. I said since you moved out here. I'm like, did I or did I not overhype this burger?
You did not overhype it. It was. I would say it's what I expected, but it's really hard to kind of guess because a bun versus a grilled cheese sandwich has a very like distinct taste versus like just like a hamburger bun, right? So you have to try to think like what would it actually taste like to have a grilled cheese sandwich for a bun? And
it's kind of like a patty melt.
Kind of like a patty melt almost. Kind of going in that direction. But
sandwich bread.
But yeah, no, you did not disappoint. It was vastly different because here's the great thing about the sandwich. Even if you get a bite, and because it's a bread shape and then you circle, right? Even when you got the sides that didn't get any of the hamburger, you still had 2 grilled cheese sandwiches that you're taking a bite into. So no matter what, it was like, oh, it's a damn good bite of sandwich.
Well, and then here's the thing, right? So then let's say you have the burger and you have the grilled cheese. You said with the buns, right? But then you look at the side and you're like, oh, the poor fries. I said those poor lonely fries, right?
Yeah,
those fries are fucking awesome.
Those fries are good. Those fries are good.
Like battered, they're like a battered fry, like
a little bit crunchy.
Manny says, so we're not the Butters from that episode of South Park. No, we are in fact the exact opposite of Butters from that restaurant or from the Hooters episode. So yeah, it's dude, no, that sandwich was the bomb. I am definitely going to go back. Larry, you weren't able to make it out. We tried to get you. We're going to drag your ass out there one of these days so you can go to it.
I will be the excuse to go again sometime soon.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly. To go get my big beer and giant grilled cheese sandwich burger.
Oh, it's amazing. Like I said, I'm a fat guy, and I'm like, you know what? Like I said, it's just.
Manny says, I hope you had some beer with that meal. Indeed, we did. We each got a big 22-ounce beer. So
can't have a nice big sandwich burger.
We did
like
lunch. We did lunch right.
That sounds like a Texas-sized beer.
That is a Texas-sized beer. Good God.
Go big or go home.
Yeehaw! Yeah. Here's how bad it was. All right, let's just go through this. I ate that thing, and I didn't eat anything leading up to it. Right, because I was like, I know this is going to be big. I need my stomach to be ready, so I didn't eat going into it. Had that burger, ate all my fries, went home and immediately took a nap. It was like I gotta take a sleep.
So
I did not eat again until this morning. Like I didn't have dinner. I was still so full from it. I was like, I don't need to eat forever. Like
it was amazing. So like I said, after we got out of the restaurant, right? So we literally had trouble getting into my truck.
Yeah, we're like, I don't want to move. We were really talkative on the way there. Didn't really talk that much to each other on the way home. Just sat there like, that was delicious.
The carbs started kicking in.
The carbs were kicking in, dude. Yeah, it was bad. Like it was good, but our reaction to it was not. That I think is a sandwich design that you're not supposed to eat in one sitting, but we did.
Like I said, it's 2 meals in one.
It is.
Man.
With bacon.
With bacon.
All right, so Nate, I killed the segue because we had to tell the story of the burgers and whatever. So let's go on to what you wanted to talk about. You brought up Mando. We're
you know what?
two
You know what else
episodes
is an epic meal? Is an egg,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, the little frog's eggs. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, frog's eggs. would be
Tasty.
Real tasty.
Come on. We should do a spoiler alert. Like I said,
Oh yeah.
Oops.
just because I said it's only been a day since that second episode came out.
True.
All right, let's do spoiler. Okay, because I'm going to start bitching about things. So let's talk about episode 1. We've given everybody a week now to see that. So
Yeah, let's talk about episode 1 first.
episode 1 for that.
All right.
You know
All
why I'm mad. Fuck you, Disney. Fuck you.
Oh. Yeah, it was a bait and switch, man. It was a bait and switch.
No,
So
it wasn't about the bait and switch because it wasn't a bait and switch. If you watch that whole thing and you watch carefully, it is not a bait and switch.
true.
So
Kind of.
they did the best thing they could have done. Is they're like, hey, there's this Mandalorian on Tatooine, and you're like, oh fuck yeah, and everyone's like, oh, it's Boba Fett's back, and it turns out some dude is just wearing his armor, right? Timothy Olyphant, he's like the sheriff, he's wearing that armor, and you're like,
he plays his character. I said he's the same character in like every single show.
Yeah.
he does
I was
so
gonna-
well. That character
Yeah.
that he plays though is so good. Like I actually really enjoyed him
Right.
in The Mandalorian, and
As
it was
soon as I
so
heard his
great
voice,
that he
I
was
like, yes.
yeah, and he was wearing that armor. And can I say this? He was a more effective Boba Fett than Boba Fett.
I don't know.
He had more screen time and he did more.
He did more screen time. Yeah, did more. He shot that missile on the back of his fucking jetpack, not once but twice.
I mean, talk about a way to hook you though. When
Yeah.
season 2 starts, it's with the Boba Fett episode. You're like, whoa,
Yeah.
Boba Fett's potentially in this episode.
Yeah,
So, it's kind of a
It's-
weird. That's why
I
I said
was-
it's sort of like a bait and switch because it ends up being somebody completely different
Yeah.
that's just wearing the armor.
yeah. So I was excited about that because I don't fucking like Boba Fett at all. I think he's a overrated character. So I was so excited that they did that because it's like that is perfect. Like there's this Mandalorian, turns out not to be. He gets the armor back or whatever. You can put Boba Fett to rest, right? He's done. He's collected the armor. It's properly back in a real Mandalorian. And at the end of the fucking episode, they show that son of a bitch.
Nay.
Yeah. Nay, he's still alive. And I'm like, you
I know.
fuckers.
I was waiting for somebody to just be like, yeah, we found this at the bottom of a Sarlacc pit.
Exactly. You could have gone that whole thing and to be like, dude, it was scavenged, right?
Right.
Like the job was
It would've
probably
fit.
no way to get the shit out of Sarlacc pits.
Yeah.
Like things fall in there all the time. They're probably like, yeah, we know Jabba's sand cruiser was fucking right there. Like there's shit down there. Let's go get it out. So you
I
could
think
have
it's-
left it and just been like, yeah, this dude is who has his armor now, and now it's back, and we resolved the fucking Boba Fett thing, but you had to bring him back at the end and show him I literally just set my remote down. I was like, I don't know if I don't want to watch the episode 2. I don't want to.
So a possible reason for that, right? So I was reading online today that so before we get the 3rd season of The Mandalorian, there's actually going to be a standalone Boba Fett show.
Yeah, exactly. You will never catch me watching.
That's interesting. I don't know. So it makes you think that at the end of season 2 of The Mandalorian, Boba Fett's probably going to have some big comeback, kind of like what Manny's saying, and maybe become this new threat, and then it goes into the Boba Fett show. and you learn about where Boba's been this whole time and what he's been up to.
Chilling on Tatooine, doing nothing apparently.
Got that boba tea.
I thought it was. I mean, I kind of agree with Manny. Even though it pissed Scott off, I thought it was a good way to kind of hook me again to see that Boba's actually alive, and it's the same actor that played Jango Fett in the Clone Wars movies,
but not the same guy who obviously was Boba Fett in the original thing that they redubbed later because they're like, oh, continuity, we gotta fix this shit.
Well, and to be fair, you never see his face in the original movies.
Yeah, but he had a distinct voice, and then all of a sudden you rewatch him now, and he's some was a New Zealander. You're like, that's not what he sounded like.
Hey, Jeremy Bullock, I said would beg to differ.
Oh, wow. Ed says, I don't know if you've read the Star Wars comics after Disney bought the show or not, but there was an Obi-Wan Kenobi comic that showed that Boba Fett knew where Obi-Wan Kenobi was hiding on Tatooine. So maybe it's Boba Fett chasing down Obi-Wan in that show.
Is there an Obi-Wan show?
They hint that the whole no disintegrations was because Boba Fett's the one who disintegrated Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru or whatever. Like, as they're little skeletons at the end, they're like, oh, man, that was Boba Fett that disintegrated him. Again, all these great things are attributed to Boba Fett. We've never fucking seen them. And don't tell me, comics. None of that shit's canon anymore, so fuck off. So,
well, Manny says, remember, people from the Empire are being hunted, so Boba's being careful and staying alive.
Yeah. He should be dead because he accidentally died in the fucking movies.
I think it's a cool dynamic.
You got accidentally hit in the jetpack and flew face first into a fucking spaceship and fell into a pit, bro. Like, you don't deserve to have a cool ending after that. Like, you need to stay dead.
So I want to kind of talk about, like, the tiebacks to the original movies that I think Mandalorian does really well. And you see it in the first episode with Boba. You know, you're bringing up Tatooine, you're bringing up all these things that people know. But then they do it in the second episode with the X-Wings. And that's the first time we've seen the X-Wings kind of out of the Star Wars movies. And, you know, you get the pilots that look the same. It's got, and they talk about the Death Star blowing up. Do what?
One of them is Dave Filoni.
Yeah.
Why is there always one fat X-Wing pilot in every squad?
It's a requirement.
Come on, you gotta have Porkins.
Well, and they talk about the Death Star blowing up. So there's all these cool, like, really awesome tiebacks to people that are, like, huge fans. You know, like, man, they're talking about the Death Star. Well, that's an X-Wing.
I actually really enjoyed the dialogue, though, when they're questioning him on the plane, right? When they pull up to him like they do in all the movies.
This is the second episode. I said we gotta give people proper notice. Like said it first.
Okay, we're going into episode 2. Fucking spoilers if you haven't seen it.
Hold on, have we fully talked about episode 1?
No, we haven't
what
talked
else?
Episode 1 yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you like episode 1?
I did actually. I really enjoyed. Outside of the ending, I really enjoyed episode 1.
That was like 2 seconds.
That last 2 seconds was the only thing that I went, for fuck's sake, on there. But outside of that, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was cool that they were like, it goes back again to all the old like Western movies, right? Like this was like the whole, you know, cowboys and Indians had to get together to fight the, you know, a common enemy or whatever.
This is just like,
it was cool. I love the Western vibe that this brings.
Yeah, I do too. I love it, and it just fits so well into the universe, and it's like Star Wars candy for fans. Like, I think people are so dying to see the expanded universe, and being able to see Mando kind of exploring in areas that you're familiar with but don't know much about, and then he has his own kind of stories, like the fact that they're chasing down that big worm, which reminds me of like the Sarlacc pit worm sort of thing.
Crate dragon.
Yeah,
so
that thing was crazy.
So they actually said in actual Star Wars lore, right? I said the pearl, the crate dragon is actually. I said they've actually made lightsabers out of it.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So
so that's why they. All right, yeah, that makes sense.
That's why they got all excited.
Yeah. So here's the thing too, right? How is it that episode 1 of season 2, The Mandalorian, was 100 times better than that dog shit last Star Wars
No.
movie.
Yes,
Dude, that truth, right? Like,
the quality of the
you know
writing.
what it was? Here's what it was. Jon Favreau is actually a fan and is doing it justice. Like, is actually writing it for fans. And actually thinking, like, taking that love of tropes, right? Like, he's not repeating what was done in other Star Wars movies, which is what all those last couple were, right? He's taking stories that we all know, we love, like the old Westerns, kind of all these old little, like, stories from when we were growing up, and he's bringing them back to the Mandalorian, right? So we're getting, Seven Samurai, we're getting the 47 Ronin, we're getting all these different, like, old school, Magnificent Seven style stories told in the Star Wars universe, and it's great.
Yeah, and I don't think he's trying to create anything new. He's basically just using with what's already existing in the universe and creating stories out of it. And I think that's the best thing, because I felt like that's what Rise of Skywalker was trying to do too much of, is adding new things into the universe.
Yeah.
And you don't need to do that because there's so much that's just not explored already. All you
Right.
got to do is just start looking into different parts that you haven't shown us before. And that's what Mandalorian does really, really well.
And Larry, I've said this, I know you agree with me on this one. What the Star Wars series needs is we need to step away from, like, the focus on the characters that have been played out over and over again, and branch out and be like, dude, it's billions of people. Can we not just pick another group and just focus on their story and how it goes on? And this kind of, we're getting bits and pieces of it, and this is us kind of getting to that. It's different style, different characters, same setting, go. And that's what I love.
So two things I like on that note, or two things coming on. One, I did roll my eyes at the beginning of that first episode when the guy's like, I know where another Mandalorian is. It's on Tatooine. Because everything's on Tatooine.
Yeah, I know. Can we
There's
not go to Tatooine again, please?
But yeah, whatever. I get it. But still, like, why do we gotta keep going to Tatooine? But I did like same scene, right? Like, I did like the Gamorrean fighters. It was cool to see familiar characters in a slightly different setting, like fighting each other. We haven't got that in Star Wars before. That was cool.
And like I said, that was also our secret guest star cameo. Because like I think that's the one thing I like about all the Mandalorian episodes, right? It's like you get your star cameos that are in this, and so that's when we got our star cameo of John Leguizamo as like the one-eyed Cyclops guy.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Bring in lots of people.
You could totally recognize that voice when you heard it. You're like, oh shit.
I know who that is.
Yeah.
That's cool. What
It
did
is
that
really
Ed
cool.
comment say?
So Ed Comment said, does anyone else have a problem with the fact that he said, may the force be with you, when he'd never heard a Jedi in the last season?
I thought
Now-
that did stick out to me as well. I was like, wait.
So, but I actually have the explanation for that. Because Luke had kind of started that became like the rallying cry for the rebellion. Now, whether or not people knew about Jedi, they knew that, like, Luke, a major player in that, was talking about this, may the force be with you. So he has this thing. So he probably just knows, like, oh, these dumb motherfuckers say this when they're, to show that, like, there's this thing. But he may not know why they say it, but he knows they do.
What a Jedi is. Why are you talking about the force?
Yeah, exactly. But he's probably just saying, I know the guys, these are rebellion guys. They say, may the force be with you at the end of their conversations. I'm just going to say it so they think I'm one of them, right? That was his ploy. I do like that because he said it with no, like, gumption, right? Like, it's like, yeah, may the force be with you, right? He knew that that's what to say to those people. They're in X-Wings, tell them may the force be with you. Maybe they'll leave me alone.
Yeah, I think it shows really well how Mando is great at, like, going from situation to situation, being able to adapt really well.
Yeah.
Like he knows all those different, like, languages, but also just the right things to say to the right people. It's kind of weird, but it felt a little out of place too, I gotta say, because of the fact that in the last season, or the last season, he doesn't really know anything about them. Yeah. And then all of a sudden he's using the term perfectly here.
Yeah, but even in the movies, people were saying, "May the Force be with you." Luke was literally the only Jedi in the original 3 movies, right? But everyone was saying, "May the Force be with you."
Right, it's like a good luck or break a leg.
Right, exactly. It's
Ed Butt Wasted in the chat has a good comparison. It's like when he says, "What up, homie?" when he goes into a bad part of town.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, may the Force be with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Nailed it.
Holmes.
Perfect.
You see a lot of people say it that aren't able to use the Force. So I think you don't need to know about Jedi.
Yeah,
It's kind of like
the blood. You have the Empire and the Rebellion.
One thing I want to focus on about
and you're like, all right, that's fine. I don't know what that means. Am I even on the west side? I don't know. So
one thing I want to focus on about the first episode that we haven't talked about yet is Timothy Oliphant. I can't remember the character's name. The speeder that he was riding around in looked like Anakin's. At least one of Anakin's engines from his speeder. What do you guys think?
It was either that or it was a pod racing,
but it looked just like
front
Anakin.
engine. Well, Anakin's didn't. It had the things on the front that opened up. That one didn't. So it may not have been his, but it was definitely a speeder.
No, it looked like Anakin's, because Anakin's had like the 3, except one of the fins was broken on.
It looked like I thought it was Anakin's, like maybe the remnants.
Well, it may have been. I knew it was a speeder. Or not a speeder, but like a pod racer pod, I guess. I don't know I guess the pod is where the person sits. Like an engine, right? That was turned into a bike. That was actually pretty cool.
Well, it sounded the same too. It had that I can't do it obviously, but it sounded like that little spinning sound that you can hear it from the, when he's using it in the movie.
Yeah.
So I watched it on my phone and I didn't catch that. Interesting. So pro tip, don't watch Mandalorian on your phone.
It's just one of those like throwbacks, like I was talking about. They have these really clever throwbacks to kind of tie you back to the originals.
Of course, like Jabba the Hutt's been at this point. So like his pod races probably aren't going on. So what do you do with all those fucking engines? Like, yeah, of course someone's going to convert it into a fucking motorcycle. Like, it makes sense.
Yeah, but it's Anakin, man. That's Darth Vader.
It's true. You think that'd be like
he's on Anakin's engine, wearing Boba Fett's armor.
That's a little too convenient for me.
Yeah,
whatever.
Right.
Well, and you think between Anakin and Boba Fett, that's a big time span, right? You got 2 different connections there, but that's a big length of time that you're talking about.
Jake Lloyd, Anakin, and Boba Fett.
Well, and the funny thing is, right? Like, I think it was in the second episode, right? So when he goes into the bar, I'm like, you better not show the goddamn cantina then.
I know. I was waiting for that. I was waiting for a cantina.
A little bit older, like wrinkly.
Yeah.
I'm like,
totally.
You better not do it. Stuff
playing the same song they've been playing the last 40 years. I would have liked.
Yeah.
My friend doesn't like you. I don't like you either.
Oh my god! If they showed them,
that would be great.
They were in Rogue One.
One-armed Ponda Baba.
Yeah.
There's no way those 2 survived that long. There's no way.
Well, first off, the only thing is
like
one of them got
like
his arm cut off, but it's a lightsaber. It cauterizes the wound, so that dude's just rolling around with one arm.
Guys like that just never learn. Guys like that never learn. He would have killed himself by now.
Yeah.
All right, so
I'm a wanted man.
Anything else about episode 1 that you guys want to talk about before we talk about 2?
No, it was cool. Good.
Overall rating for episode 1.
I give that one a 4. It would have been a 5 for me, except for the last 2 seconds.
It was fine. I will say that I guess I could talk about this after the next episode too, but I will say that after kind of the end of season 1 with Gus Fring, right? I'm a little disappointed that we didn't, immediately continue that story.
Whatever.
We're just back to the adventure of the week format.
Of him, it's him running. Like he said, he doesn't turn his beacon on, right? He doesn't want to go sub-light.
I know, I get it, but
like,
you could have showed him. Like you could have showed him doing something.
You could.
I think we'll see him next episode. I
feel
really
like Gus Fring's going to be like that. Yeah, he's going to be like that reoccurring big bad guy that Mando eventually deals with at some point.
So at
kind of controlling things behind the scene.
So at some point, Mando is going to get the Darksaber, right? Is that what we're saying? the fucking
Maybe.
black lightsaber, like he's
That
gonna
would be
get that
sweet.
dark saber.
I don't know,
Like,
that's interesting.
I would actually enjoy that immensely.
And
Gus
to
is busy
continue
making
that-
chicken.
To continue that point, to wrap up episode 1, right? They show Boba Fett at the end, and then episode 2 starts, and there's no Boba Fett.
Nope.
I kind of wanted Boba Fett.
I think literally, I really hope they just show Boba Fett. Yeah, to like I said, either set up a potential series, or to just be like, look, guys, yeah, we're gonna give you we'll give you this. He's alive, and then let us move on because he's not.
I'm okay with he's alive, though. I don't need a series. I don't need him in Obi-Wan necessarily.
Confirm he's alive and let's move on,
Yeah.
right? Like
That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
I know.
it's not going to happen because
You
fans
made a-
love him too much.
Mando made a point to take that armor back. Like it's going to be some type of reclamation of the armor. Like
But
otherwise
here's
they
the
would
thing.
not focused on it that much.
Based on like the whole lore of everything, Boba Fett is by no means a Mandalorian in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So
Well, that we know of.
but first off, he took his helmet off. His helmet's off, right? It's gone. And by standards, he is no longer a Mandalorian.
Well,
Jango Fett took his helmet off, and he's a
Wait.
clone of Jango Fett,
Yeah.
so he doesn't actually belong to the Mandalorian creed at all. So, like, I really like the fact that they just say, if they're not going to do it, to Jeremy's point, they're not going to do it, but I really wish that, I really hope that they show him alive, and then they say, all right, fucking move on, let's go do other shit.
And here's why, right? Here's specifically why. It's because I said Timothy Oliphant's character gave him the armor at the end instead of Mando saying, "Hey, just keep it." I said, "Hey, you." I said, "You."
Yeah.
I said, "You." I said, "You use it to defend your thing." I said, "Because," I said, "he took possession of it." Like I said, and so they called that out, and they called that out, and he was after that armor. Like it's going. I said, it's going to come back. It's going to come back.
I feel like one thing that season 1 showed us is that it was like a lot of Mandalorians died. Like
Yeah.
a lot of them were killed. So I feel like this Mandalorian will kind of be the one that sort of recreates new Mandalorians, and maybe he's saving that armor. He's going to make a new Boba. He needs to expand his army of Mandalorians because they're all dead. And I feel like maybe that might be part of the show is that we see him kind of make that stronger.
So
again.
he takes the worst example of Mandalorians. And I was like, here
Hey,
you
it's
go.
just an extra armor, man.
So Manny says, what about Baby Yoda eating other babies? I think he's talking about those eggs in or episode 2.
So I don't know what they were trying to do with the Baby Yoda, right? So so with the child, they have him like where he's eating the eggs and he keeps getting told no, and then he eats the little baby spider, and then all the spiders attack the ship, and it seems like he starts to like realize like, oh, just like blindly eating shit is bad, right? It actually has a thing where you think like he like regrets his decision to eat the spider. But then at the end of the show, he picks up another fucking frog egg and eats it. Like, you didn't learn a lesson at all, you little shit? Like, I don't know.
Like, yeah, you haven't been to one of those bars with the pickled eggs and the thing on the edge of the counter.
And you
I think
you
there's
eat them, you vomit, and then you're like, oh, I'm going to have another one of them things.
Homer's eating the eggs.
Yeah. There it is.
Yeah. But
Sometimes
even
they
though
eat the eggs.
even though we're talking about Baby Yoda right now, I still feel like one thing I've noticed in the first 2 episodes is that Baby Yoda kind of took a back seat, whereas in season 1, I felt like he was always being focused on so much. And yeah, you get little Baby Yoda moments in the first 2 episodes, but there's not a whole lot that really goes on about Baby Yoda. It's more focusing on Mando and how like the other characters interacting with him.
So he's literally the storytelling device, right? Like, and he's always been the thing of like, he's the reason for all these adventure of the week stories.
Yeah.
Without that, you have a Mandalorian that just catches bounties, and it's not a good story when all he's doing is going after bounty after bounty.
Yeah.
You can do that for maybe a season, and then who gives a shit anymore? So having the Baby Yoda where people are chasing him, and it's this whole like, he's still got to make money doing his bounty hunting thing, but he's protecting this kid that everyone's after. It gives this thing where it can kind of propel the story. Baby Yoda is not a main character. He is a storytelling device. He's what drives that story forward.
Exactly right. Well, and I think that some of the less focus, like I said, for these these first couple episodes, like I said, was intentional from some drama that happened in the first season. So I don't know if you've read the articles at all about like Pedro Pascal getting pissed off that like said that he wanted to act without the helmet on, so he actually wanted to take his helmet off, and then they said no.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, can you stop focusing so much on stupid Baby Yoda? And they said no. So which basically made him almost quit, like I said, during the second season. And so third season, it's actually not going to be Pedro Pascal. He's just going to do the voice acting.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
you never take the helmet off. You don't actually need him.
No, you don't. That's yeah.
It's so what is it? So like Doom Patrol, right? Doom Patrol. Brendan Fraser as a character. That dude has never actually been on set, like other than when it shows like flashbacks. He just does the voice.
Yeah.
Rocket Raccoon, same thing. Like fucking Sean Gunn did all the mocap for Rocket Raccoon. Bradley Cooper has never been on the set with any of them motherfuckers.
True.
Very true.
So same thing. Like you have a guy that's never takes his helmet off except for once. Doesn't matter. Like, yeah, dude. Like, fine, go to the studio. Yeah, bye.
This is Star Wars. People want to be in this. You don't want to be in it?
Yeah. I'll get somebody else, and I'll get a voice sound alike to do you.
Hey, get Ross Marquand. Like, he can do any voice.
Yeah. Or just get... There's so many dudes from... Where's he from? Spain, right? Like, there's tons of dudes from Spain that could do it.
Yeah, easy. And we're American. We won't know the difference.
Let's get somebody from Fiverr.
Yeah. There's plenty of Fiverr guys, I bet. Yeah. Because again, too, the thing with him when he talks, he always talks through like the walkie-talkie thing, right?
Yeah.
So it's distorted enough that you could get somebody else that sounds just enough, throw it through that distortion, and make it sound exactly like him.
I honestly wouldn't even be able to tell the difference of them.
Nope.
Where the crowd goes, I go.
Yeah, because you're not talking straight. It's not his actual voice that we're hearing. They run it through some form of distortion to make it. Yeah, it's modulated, right? So you could literally put anybody in there and make it sound like him. Make it sound the same.
Happy. It's like one of those things. Just be happy your name's in the credits, dude. Because we can put anybody in this role, but we put you. So just be happy with it.
You can go to Comic-Cons for the rest of your life.
Yeah, you are the Mandalorian, and everybody knows you're the Mandalorian. So just live with it.
Just first off, Pedro. Like, who gives a shit? Like, take your millions of dollars that you're probably getting for this and shut up. Like, to be fair, I would take half his salary. I would take a quarter of his salary for this, and I would do the voice for the Mandalorian. And you'd see my fat ass in that goddamn costume.
Let's hear your Mando voice.
Dude, I don't need to do again. I don't need to do a Mandalorian voice.
Do it
because you can modulate it to sound like however you want it.
I want to hear your Mando voice.
I can't do the Mando voice because there is no Mando voice. It's just the child stays with me. Like it's like fine, like right.
There you go.
Wait,
hire this man.
Pascal joined the podcast.
Whoa,
hire this man.
Pedro Pascal, guess the thing. Like it's fine. Like I would do it. Like I would literally chop someone's arm off, Star Wars style, to get into that.
Pedro Pascal. Come on, Nate. Let's hear your Mando voice.
Where the child goes, I go.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Right? Like any one of the four of us would do it, and I know we would do it for less money than he's demanding, and I wouldn't give it. You could have an episode where I had one line: "Where the child goes, I go." I just hey, like that could be my line for an episode. I would take the money for it and just be like, I don't give a shit. Like that's here you go, Baby Yoda episode dedicated to him. I don't care because I get to be in Star Wars. Yes.
That's why John Leguizamo was in the episode.
Yeah, he's like, I get to be in fucking Star Wars, dude. Like,
yeah, you want me in a Star Wars episode? Yes, please.
Hell yeah.
That's like guaranteed fan.
Why do you think people like? What is it? Daniel Craig, the two dudes. Kevin Smith, Warwick Davis in one of the last movies.
Daisy Ridley.
Simon Pegg,
yeah. They all did things without getting credited for it because they just wanted to be in a Star Wars movie and say they were a character in it.
Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
He got killed in the first movie, but he was one of the coolest characters.
He was one of the coolest characters.
Who are the portions?
Or the
Billy
Peter Sudeikis, right? Like,
Portion.
yeah, Peter Sudeikis. Yeah, that didn't even sound like good on Simon Pegg because it didn't even sound like him.
Not at all.
I didn't actually believe it at first, but then I was like,
Yeah, you look back at that character, you're like, wait, that was Simon Pegg?
that was him. It didn't sound or anything like him. Like
Not at all.
Like the Peter Sudeikis one where they're talking at the end, the speeder bike trooper thing. So I was like, that sounds like them, but it's amazing because they're not like super credited for it.
I'm just saying we could be Storm. We could be Sand People.
There you go.
Yeah, like I can do that.
I'm sitting next to a sand person.
Yeah, like.
So overall, season 1, I mean, episode 1 and 2, we're liking it so far. You got me on.
I did.
I'm sticking around.
Yeah. Jason Sudeikis. Sorry, Ed. I've had a couple of drinkies here. So yeah. I'm actually really impressed. I like the first season of Mandalorian. I'm liking the first 2 episodes so far. I really want to see where this goes. I want them to depart farther from the originals, though.
I hate the weekly bullshit.
You hate the what?
I hate the weekly bullshit. Give me my entire fucking show the
Yeah,
same time.
I
hate the weekly.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
I'm
hate
not a fan either.
I hate it when they did this. I'm like, let me digest the content the way I want to digest it.
Yeah.
We'll get you on for at least 2 months of that subscription this way, though, Jeremy.
That's why.
Because I ain't using Disney Plus for anything but Mandalorian. So
I know. I just turned it back on today so I could watch those 2 episodes, and I'm going to turn it off as soon as it's done.
There's nothing else. Well, maybe like that.
Hopefully,
show.
yeah, maybe Winter Soldier or WandaVision would be great.
when those eventually,
Yeah, they look like
Hopefully,
I've seen tons of WandaVision ads.
Yeah, well, so they moved up Wanda. So WandaVision is actually going to launch first before Winter Soldier.
Okay.
Even so,
okay.
do we actually know when? Because I don't know when that shit's coming.
December.
Oh, good.
WandaVision is going to be coming.
Which makes sense, right? Because that's a little overlap with Mando and.
I think they're kind of at a stalemate. They're trying to figure out what to do with the MCU, just because we have all these things that kind of like tie together, but like everything's kind of broken right now, so we don't know.
And I'm guessing. So here's what I'm guessing too. I'm betting that we might have some Taskmaster in Falcon and Winter Soldier, but they don't want to do anything with it until they can show the Black Widow movie.
Just release the fucking movie on demand. I just don't get it. I just don't get it.
Did you see the Funko Pops? Like somebody got like a warehouse picture or whatever the back of one of the boxes. It has Baron Zemo wearing the purple sock over his head. So that's
wow. That's
a
cool.
pretty major spoiler.
So I bet it's gonna be. I bet it's gonna be. It's. They're gonna go somewhere cold, right? They're gonna go somewhere cold, and he puts a purple one of those things with like the head and the face off. Like he puts one of those on.
This stuff gets so delayed, but these companies have already been given the license to make these figures. Like all the Black Widow figures came out so long ago because they're already on this release schedule. And you're giving us info about the movie. You could have just released the movie, and now we know more about Black Widow than we probably would have originally, just because of the figures that have come out. Yeah. Or the Winter Soldier show.
Well, Black Widow's hard because Black Widow was like the figure came out like in March because the movie's going to come out in April, but then the movie just came out in April.
Yeah, we don't have anything.
Yeah, how are you going to get people to care again at that time when it comes out again? Like,
I'm going to tell you,
those figures help build the hype.
I don't give 2 shits about Black Widow anymore. I'm sorry. Like, I would have watched it back in the day. I'm in no hurry to go watch it when it releases. That's
what I'm talking about. Like the stuff that they were promoting big time back then, like Black Widow, all that stuff. They should have just released it on demand or something, because now people are losing interest. Like it's like they just don't care as much.
Yeah. If anything, COVID may have killed the MCU.
Yeah, I hope not. But just release stuff on demand. I mean, if Mandalorian should be telling them, people are flocking to Disney Plus right now to watch it. Just give it more content.
You can't do anything else. You will make money to it.
There's the official Baron Zemo.
Nice.
Good.
Yeah.
It looks cool. It looks like classic Zemo.
Yeah, it looks good.
They even kept the purple.
I'm glad they kept the purple. It's like a dark
Yeah.
purple.
Yeah.
It's not quite as bright. It's a little bit darker.
No, and the mask looks realistic, so it's more ski mask. Like it looks good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so I'm still stoked for that. I'm still stoked for Black Widow whenever it comes out. Hopefully it is whatever they said next year. That would be nice. You know what else I'm stoked for?
what's
Buying
that?
Buying Funko Pops at ShumiStore.com.
Oh, do tell.
Shumi, they've got a mint box guarantee, so you can order all your favorite Funko Pops from things like, I don't know, Marvel or Star Wars.
The Mandalorian.
Yeah, like the Mandalorian.
Black Widow.
Yeah, Mando. Baby Yoda, because you need more Baby Yoda Pops.
Everyone loves Baby Yoda.
What you're going to do is you're going to go to ShumiStore.com. You're going to enter code STS Guys, and you're going to save 10%. And then, when you're not wearing an STS Guys polo like Scott, and you're not wearing a Funko shirt like me, you should go to Animated Apparel Company and buy yourself a new t-shirt. Animated Apparel Company. If you enter code STS Guys, you're going to save 10%, and you're going to get free shipping. Animated Apparel Company. It's the best.
It's the best.
It's the best.
And then, if you like our podcast, we've got a lot of friends who have podcasts, like Talkin' Pops. They're live right now on Twitch. Pop Collectors Alliance, the Tyler G Show, Toy Photocast, Four Dorksmen, Geek Together, Secondary Heroes, the Average Nerd Podcast, Nerdy Curious, Movie Retakes, the Toy Rewind Podcast.
Jeremy, what were you doing? Grabbing the air and bringing it.
Years. I'm like,
Grabbing it in and bring it to your face.
And don't forget about the Totally Rad Movie Podcast. It's the
Back-
thing that Scott and I say we're going to do every week, but we never do.
We need to get on a defined
Now it's just
schedule.
a surprise.
Yeah.
When it drops, it's like, oh, they're on again.
Yep. That's basically what we run it like. Surprise, motherfucker.
It's not dead yet. It's just
not. No.
It's an irregular heartbeat.
It is. We got an arrhythmia, but we'll be back on track soon.
We might have a special guest on the STS Guys next week. It might actually be 3 special guests. Stay tuned.
Ooh.
Oh, dang.
Well,
That's a
that
spoiler.
Need to confirm.
3.
Yeah. Whatever that was. All right,
This
well,
is
Jeremy.
the time when we get really weird.
All right, Jeremy. We're just fucking around.
Take
with
us
this
out.
place. Let's
Take us out.
So for episode 155 of the STS Guys, I've been Jeremy.
Hey, it's Larry.
Hey, guys, it's been Nate.
And I'm Scott.
And we're the STS Guys. Have a great night, everyone.
Bye, everybody.